Karol Itauma, how are you, sir?
Oh, good. Not long now, innit?
Yeah, getting closer. Fight number 10. It's been, where's this time gone? It doesn't seem long ago since we were talking about the delay in getting your licence ahead of your debut and all the frustrations of the pandemic and everything like that.
Well, the thing is, I remember you being here upstairs in the other room when there was no furniture here, nothing at all.
Yeah.
Back in 2020, probably April time. Yeah. So the time has gone like that, and here we are on fight number 10.
Am I right in saying you had a desk there with all your paperwork on it and all that?
Yeah. So that's when I was still working in the financial sector. So time has moved on.
You still doing that?
No, I finished that last year in October, and then I just became full-time into boxing, and now I'm blessed to be doing what I'm doing here.
Was it taking up too much time?
Do you know what? It's not that it was taking up... Well, it was from 9 till 4 p.m. So I had to kind of like work around it. But now I literally, everything goes around boxing rather than things around the other way around. So I'm in a better position to really focus on myself and prepare myself the best ability I can.
You're still a very young man, so if ever in the future you needed to pick up that qualification, you can pick it up, put it down, whatever, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Like with things like that, you can return back to them later on. But with boxing, you only have one chance. You know, like it's like a ticking clock you have on your body. So now in my youth, I gotta make the most of it.
Another thing I remember, you were a budding fashion designer, weren't you? Is that still going?
No, that's kind of like on the back burner now. Like literally, all the focus is literally purely just on boxing, on getting myself better and then reaching the top.
Did that used to take up a bit of time, just doing the designing?
It did. It did. I was travelling to Bermondsey a few times as well, but now it's just everything. Like I said, works around boxing.
You still wearing your own gear though?
Yeah. Obviously, like my logos are, if you see on the gloves, so that's still getting represented and moving forward.
If you had to offer a sort of a brief assessment of how you think the 9 fights have gone so far and the, as you like to say, incremental gains you've made across that time, what would your assessment be?
I feel like it's gone quite well. Each fight we've shown something else. Each fight that we took a step up, we've kind of rose to the occasion. And obviously now in our 10th fight, we've took another step up. And that's what it's all about. It's all about taking them small steps up and rising to the occasion, in a sense. So that when we do get to the top, we are always improving. We're never like stagnant. It's never just still. It's always improving and getting better, focusing on different areas, and that's what's going to make us a complete fighter.
Yeah, I mean, you weren't given 3 or 4 quick knockover jobs, were you? There was always something going upwards, wasn't it?
Yeah, like I said, the learning phase, and in order to learn properly, you do need to take steps.
I know you'll say, but you haven't looked at him yourself and everything. How much of a step up is Maidana? What's Dan told you?
Well, Dan said that he has boxed Basarbiev before, and that's really it. Like all I ask him is he southpaw, is he orthodox, and how tall are they? That's kind of like the gauge I get, and then as soon as I got it locked in, then I'll just leave the tactics what Dan has and my team has, and then we implement them in during training camp. And when we come fight week, we told them proper, like have a focus on them, and then it's down to me to put that into the ring.
I mean, whatever happens, we know, but he's good enough to get approved for a WBC international title, so he must be still a very much alive opponent.
Absolutely. It's definitely got to stay focused. Definitely got to stay switched on the whole time. And obviously, I'm in a division. I'm in a weight class where, one punch can change all. So, yeah, it's another step up, and I'm excited.
Does it feel different this time around, knowing that there's something you can put around your waist or hold up in the air after the fight?
I got asked actually a few times, and to me, it's just something that's a cherry on the top. It's some additional stuff. I don't think about it. All I think about is purely just getting that win, and like I said, the belt is a bonus.
Think ahead, just sort of take it for granted. You get the win, you get given the belt and the thing and the new blah blah blah. You afford yourself a little smile in the ring. Give us a little treat, yeah.
100%. I will. I don't usually smile, do I?
No.
But yeah, for sure I will.
Nice little cheesy grin for the cameras.
Perhaps.
Well, I mean, what is it? Are you just sort of fairly calm and emotionless after fights? When does the emotion kick in, or the feeling? But job done, that satisfaction.
It's so weird because I get so locked in and so focused on like the task in hand, where I kind of like everything else goes out the window. It's weird.
I mean, a lot of fighters, that'd be such a release at the end of a fight to win.
Yeah.
You know, the end of 10, 12 weeks hard slog, and they're just sort of like,
yeah.
But you look like you want to go again.
It's weird. Like, I'm still locked in that zone. Perhaps like when I get home, it's more like relaxed to that. But
you look like you want to fight in the post-match interview. Don't you?
Definitely not my intention.
Right. And let's think. One thing you always say is about these marginal gains, everything else. Does that dictate your approach in fights? Because, like I say, you do very much work your way through a fight.
Yeah.
You don't come out from the off and think, right, I can get this fellow out early, or have a look to see if you can test him out. It's very much, a favourite word of yours, a process. Is that fair to say?
I think that's a fair opinion or fair viewpoint. Absolutely. Like, I have this little analogy of when you're going to sprint, you don't just straight go into sprint. You warm up first, because obviously if you go straight to a sprint, you might pull something. So I feel like that's kind of like the process that I take, and warm into the fight.
When you find that it's time to go for the quotes kill, I mean, is it a visual thing where you see a deterioration? Is it something that Dan says to you in the corner, or is it just a feeling you get in the bottom of your stomach? I
feel like it might be a combination of certain factors. Obviously Dan, my brother, like, they're the two voices that I hear. And then it's also like instinctual. Like, sometimes you just have a feeling like, okay, yeah, I know I've got him, and then you just step up a gear and get him out there.
Is that a good feel when you get to that point? You think, right, now the fun starts. Is it like that? I mean, do you find that preamble a little bit workmanlike?
Yeah.
And then you think, right, finally, he's ready to go.
No, it's fun because literally everyone just kicks in, like you just going for it. So definitely is a good feeling, especially like when you connect clean. But yeah, it's always all part of it.
I know you'll probably fudge this answer, but obviously this will be your first title belt at Wembley. Have you thought about a career path? You know, which way you'd like to go in terms of domestics, that sort of thing? Because you're in a lively division, aren't you? So there'd be some fun fights if you chose to get involved in them. Or are you just going to say to me, that's for Francis and Dan or whatever, sort of?
No, that is my thought process. All of that stuff right now is I'm solely focusing on myself. I'm solely focusing on my development, so that when I'm ready, I am able to just dive into that. But for now, it's just literally purely down to my team and kind of what their opinion and what they have, what are their idea of me, manoeuvring me up the ranking is.
Do you have any preference for what they call traditional routes, all that sort of thing? Have you got a longing to have that Lonsdale belt sitting on your mantelpiece for good, that sort of ambition?
But for sure, perhaps, yeah. But then if I say, yeah, I definitely want to be a British champion now, like, things change, you know what I mean? Like, opportunities arise. So nothing set in stone. I haven't got anything more like set in stone.
Now, we obviously know your connections to Slovakia, and it wasn't until about halfway through, but I realised we had 2 Slovakians in the ring for your last fight. Is there any sort of ambition to take the Karol Roadshow to Slovakia in the future?
Absolutely. Like, Francis did say, like, me and my brother are going to have a fight in Slovakia. So absolutely. It's a country that's kind of like in love with the combat sport. Boxing's not as big there in the sense, but that's because they haven't had the opportunity, or haven't had kind of like the platform to kind of just like thrive. And I think Queensberry could have a little opening there.
Do they chart your progress in the sort of media, do you know, in Slovakia?
Yeah, they do for sure. We've been on the news a few times there. Obviously, the Tyson Fury fights, both cards, yeah. And in Tottenham, they've both been covered over there as well. So yeah, it was definitely been
getting
good.
A little profile, sort of.
Yeah, it's been good.
Do you get recognised more in Chatham or in Slovakia now?
Well, I don't really go out like that much. So I acknowledge it in a sense.
Right, we've got to change the subject and onto your little brother, who's cooking up a bit of a storm at the moment.
Yeah.
A lot of anticipation. What can we expect?
Oh, I don't know where to start. Like I explained this analogy like in the conference, in the little conference we had a few weeks back, and it was when you put put together a skillful middleweight, that or not even a middleweight, like a lightweight that moves, punches, a higher boxing IQ, can feint, has all them components, and then put him in the heavyweight frame.
God.
And the one that can punch as well, and the one that's a southpaw as well. It just spells danger and excitement to the heavyweight scene at the moment, because when you look at traditional heavyweight, you look at power, you look at, you see you get the knockouts, but it's all kind of fluid. Like it's not fluid, it's not sharp, it's not exciting. Whereas I feel like that's what he's going to bring to it.
When did you start to realise that you had something on your hands in the family?
It's always kind of been like, I remember like his first fight, it was definitely a lot smaller, like 57 kilo, because I remember training him to make weight, and even then he was boxing someone that like 3 fights and 3 wins in his debut, like in his first fight, and that person went on to win to Europeans with him and won in a weight below. So he's always been up against it. Even at the age of 30, he was sparring men since then. And I've just been in a whole process with him, and now we're here together on this journey.
Was he a greedy child?
I wouldn't say he's a greedy child, but...
No, the reason I'm asking is how he's got to be sort of four stone heavy.
I'm getting to that. But whenever we went to African restaurants, he used to eat all the time with my dad and my mum. And me and Sam used to just eat chips. So I think that's where we went wrong. We didn't eat the Nigerian food. But he did.
So when did that sort of differential start?
I think, I don't know, maybe like when he was 15, he started like getting like crazy tall. I don't know, I'm not too sure.
Oh, it is strange, isn't it, to have such a big differential between the pair of you? I mean, you're not a small lad, are you? So.
Nah, I'm not, but yeah, he's definitely got the...
But as far as boxing's concerned, he's in the fun zone, isn't he?
Absolutely. This year he could enjoy the process, not make weight, everything. But everything's the way it's meant to be. So I won't change anything.
Talking about your respective characters and outlooks, now you've always been about marginal gains, step by step, fight by fight. Listen to your coach, with managers, everything else. Whereas your brother's come straight out and said, 20 years, 4 months, however many days, 22 days, 28 days. There's a difference in outlook and approach there, isn't there?
Absolutely. Everyone's on a different paths. Even though we're brothers, we still have a differentiating sides. We still have our own perspectives, and we're on even though our journey's together, we still got our own roads. So we're not the same people. I've got my ambitions, I've got my goals. And it's important for me to stay focused on myself.
His 2 major successes last year, 2022, coincided with you being at sort of on major events, didn't it? He was at the Europeans when you were doing the week build-up at Wembley, wasn't he?
Yep.
And then you were out in Spain in the build-up to your last fight, which obviously he won the Worlds. How are you as a spectator?
So, in the Worlds, it was tough. It was crazy. Like all of us were like going through an emotion with him, because I was never able to in the international contest. I was never able to kind of be out there with him. So that was like my first time. So it was crazy, and even when he won it, emotions were indescribable.
So how are you going to be on Saturday in Wembley? I mean, we assume you'll be on later, given you've got a proper title fight.
Yeah.
And you'll probably step out. But your focus is going to be all in a bangle, isn't it? Because you've got thinking of your own fight. You're going to be worrying about your little brother. How's that going to be? You're going to have to really hold it together, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I haven't really proper delve into it and kind of told myself the process that I'm going to do, but it's going to be important to solely, literally, like, focus on the warm-up that I need to do, and in order to get me like mentally locked in. Obviously we're going to be together the whole day through the weigh and through the obviously fight day, stuff like that, but I feel like as soon as I get into the arena, I'm going to have to be locked in and start focusing on the task at hand. And I feel like we both need to be doing that for ourselves, because, you know, we are in a sport where one punch, one slip up can change everything. So yeah, that's when we need to lock in and focus on ourselves.
In an ideal world, would you like a couple of hours between your fights so you can sort of separate them out?
In an ideal world, yeah, but, you know, we don't really live in an ideal world. So there are things we can't control, and the things we can't control, there's no point of, you know, dwelling on them. When we get the schedule, we'll look at it, and if we're close together, we're close together. There's nothing we can do really. We need to be professional and carry ourselves in the right manner.
Yeah, and lots of brothers have done it in the past, haven't they? So
absolutely, it's going to be a new experience for us, but one we're going to be able to take with us for our careers.
Got to ask you finally, light heavyweights, 3 world titles on the line on this show. Obviously, it's where you ultimately aspire to be.
Absolutely.
Give our boy a good chance.
Yeah, like I sparred Yard earlier last year, and yeah, his defense is, I think, underrated. I think he's a lot more defensively switched on than people give him credit for.
He uses his shoulder, doesn't he?
Yeah, like I rate Yard a lot. Yeah, I want him. Obviously, we'll want him to win and bring the belts to Britain. It'll be crazy achievement. I feel like if Yard really puts him on early and gets him out there within 5, I reckon he'll do it.
Do you think people are writing him off too easily? It's weird, isn't it? When you've got someone who punches as hard as Anthony and has now got the experience he was missing last time, it's strange that a lot of people just almost not giving him a prayer, aren't they?
But I feel like the longer it goes, the more it goes into Batalia's favour.
Did you taste Yard's power in the spar, or was it just more technical?
No, it was a spar. Yeah, I took it. It was good.
Felt it.
It was good. Like it's weird. It's got it's like a stingy. Like where it's so sharp. But obviously that's sparring. Like when you put the 10-ounce gloves on the head guard, it's a lot different. But yeah, I respect them. I know it's good.
Right, Karol. So 10th fight for a title.
Yeah.
Over Arena, Wembley. Saturday, 28th of January. We wish you every success and can't wait to see you with that belt around your waist with a nice big smile.
Thank you very much. We should appreciate it.
Cheers, mate.